Oh, good afternoon, everyone. I'm joined today by Victoria Christopher. Hello.
Hi, Paul. Hello, I'm Victoria. I'm a private client tax director at PKF Francis Clark, and I specialise particularly in property tax matters.
So, without further ado, our 5 lockdown questions with you today. Starting with question 1. What would you have done differently if, say, you'd been given 2 months' notice that COVID-19 was going to hit us? What do you think you would have done to set your business up differently?
I think this is a really interesting question, actually, and I've pondered it. And I think had we had notice, I would have taken the opportunity to speak to my clients, to warn them of what was coming and to help them prepare. I think for a lot of people, the initial uncertainty of the impact of the crisis, both for businesses and individuals, was a massive worry. And also the lack of clarity initially about what support may be available. And I think whilst we've been able to help clients through the crisis as it's developed, in an ideal world, we would have had that information already and we could have let them know and shared it with them. I don't know about you, Paul, but I've certainly seen clients who are partway through property purchases and suddenly they got stalled and it was a bit of a panic about whether they were going to fall through, whether it was going to be able to complete. We've had clients who are looking at things like the business interruption loan scheme and the vast amount of information that they needed to make sure they had at their fingertips, ready to do the applications. And it would have been really nice if we could have helped them with that well in advance, had them prepared. But alas, not the case.
Well, we're all still standing, at least for the moment. That's the best way to look at it.
Yes, absolutely. And I think things have gone as well as they can do, really. People seem to be quite resilient, which is positive.
The British spirit is showing through.
Absolutely.
So, question 2. What or who has impressed you the most during this time?
I've just been really impressed by the attitude of the people around me, whether that be my colleagues. They've had to adapt to new ways of working and that there's been real determination in doing that and making a success of it. Our clients as well, they've been resilient, they've been positive despite such difficult circumstances. My friends and family have had to embrace new methods of communication, which sometimes can be difficult. I'm sure everybody can appreciate. And also my neighbours, they get so passionate with the pots and pans on a Thursday night, and it really makes me smile. So I think really just the way people have responded.
Yes, yeah, it's been interesting how everyone's sort of rallied together and things have changed for the better in a lot of things. So, question 3.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Paul, but
Sorry, no, carry on.
sorry, I was just going to say, I don't know about you, but the Friday night clap has been a real hit in our local area. There's fireworks going off and kids out with pots and pans, and the adults are all out clapping and beeping their car horns, which is really nice to see. So
It threw me the first time it happened because I wondered what was going on because my neighbours were in their back garden sort of banging things and I thought, are they having a row? What's going on? This is very bizarre. Oh, it's that.
yeah, I think I missed the first one actually. I don't know that I picked up on the media coverage of it until I heard it and I thought, oh my goodness, what's going on? But it's been a nice idea, really.
Yeah, something to bring everyone together. So this leads on nicely, I suppose, to question 3. Describe something you've most enjoyed at this time.
Do you know, I think actually the thing I've enjoyed most is the change to the pace at which I live my life. I think previous to coronavirus and the lockdown, I was often guilty of rushing around quite a lot. And I think we've all been forced to slow down a little bit, particularly with the lockdown and being at home, which has been really, really nice. And I've actually found time to sit in the garden and read a book and do some gardening, and it's been a pleasure actually to embrace those opportunities.
I'm shamefully admit I've taken my laptop a few times later on in the day and sat under the sort of umbrella we've got on the garden table and just thought it's better out here. The Wi-Fi connection's fine, and I deal with all the problem files at that point because it feels more relaxed.
Do you not find that the sunshine's glaring on your screen though?
No, if you strategically go out later in the day, the way my garden's set up, then you can sort of you feel the heat, but you can hide from the sun.
Oh, very good. You're well informed on this, Paul.
I've obviously spent too much time out there, clearly. So, question 4 was, I suppose, they're all important questions, but this is the big one. What do you think the biggest change to your industry, and particularly what you do, will be after we finally become free of COVID-19 and everything that comes with it?
I think we're going to see far greater digitalization and far more remote working. And I think actually we've proved that it does work, and we can make it work. And I think clients are quite open to it as well. I think also we'll probably see greater efficiency in those digital processes because we've had so much experience of it through the lockdown. So I think that will become a bigger thing. I think the use of software for digital signatures, being able to do video calls rather than necessarily face-to-face meetings. I think it offers some flexibility, and I think people will continue to embrace it.
I sort of read an article that suggested that COVID has brought on technological advances in how we deal with business by about 5 to 10 years.
Really? It's interesting, isn't it? Because I think before this happened, we perhaps hadn't all challenged the digital software and digital abilities that we've had, but because we've had to embrace it, it's worked out really well.
Yeah, but necessity is the mother of all invention, I keep saying.
Well, indeed.
So, last but not least, question 5. What's the one thing you haven't been able to do that you've missed the most, that you're really looking forward to be able to do when all of this is all blown over?
Oh, it's such an easy question as well. It's got to be going for a Sunday roast lunch with my family, eating far too much food, lots of pudding, and giving them all big hugs, to be honest, when we're allowed to. It's something that we did very regularly before coronavirus, and whilst we do try and get together on video calls once a week, it's not the same. So I think that is definitely what I'm looking forward to.
No, I must admit that it's one of those things that with family in person, we've been doing a family call to my wife's family every night, my family at the weekend, and it's just not the same as being able to see them, is it?
No, it isn't. It's lovely to be able to maintain that contact, but I don't think anything beats a Sunday roast lunch altogether.
But I have discovered Zoom quizzes, which I do a few times a week, which, I'm not sure that's necessarily the best use of video technology, but it's been a good way to pass the time.
I don't think you're the only one, Paul.
Although the good lady that edits these videos, Kate, is hosting our quiz tonight. I'm hoping that she doesn't pick too many difficult questions, because I bribed someone in the last quiz with a bottle of gin to give me a round that was dedicated to something I'd be able to answer.
Is that allowed?
Yes, it was allowed, because as long as you sort of tell them in advance that these are the rules that I've just created, then it'll be fine.
Very good. No, we've certainly done a few quizzes, but it seems the more that I do, the worse I'm becoming at them. So perhaps that's a sign I need to stop.
We have one person that, unfortunately, I won't name him, Dan, who always seems to keep coming last. So he's hoping that he won't be last tonight.
Fingers crossed.
We shall see. But thanks very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And anyone out here watching that needs some serious tax advice, then Victoria is the person that you should really consider speaking to. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.